I wanted to do more of a like tips thing. I guess like things I wish I knew when I first started transitioning. It's been about a little over a year since I've socially transitioned. Um, and I've learned a lot. When I socially transitioned, I didn't have really any other resources besides my counselor and online. And I'm going to be honest, I really avoided being online because there's a lot of tips that made me uncomfortable, or that maybe I didn't think attributed to me, or maybe I didn't want to do. Because that's the thing, right? All of our transitions are very personal. Your transition's your own journey. It's not anyone else's. But it's really tough when you don't know where to start. And it's easy to get pulled into trends or stereotypes or certain kinds of people that may or may not be who you are. Just an example right off the top of my head, I know a lot of trans women that feel like they have to be, they have to cross-dress or they have to be a drag queen, which are both two different things, and neither one of them is the same thing as being trans. You could be trans and do those things, but that you don't have to be those things to be trans. I never did any one of those. I never cross-dressed. I never was a drag queen or participated in drag. But there's a lot of advice and stuff out there. Like the first thing that I was told by another trans woman was, hey, use this website. Like, you can get really cute outfits or stuff that'll fit you and everything. And I was on HRT for about 6 months, so I still did not have much change. Like, I was starting to grow breasts, but my frame and everything was still very masculine. And I'm about 5'8" now. Back then I was around 5'10", so I've shrunk a little bit. So, but I went to this website, and it was a cross-dressing website. And I was like, well, I don't, like, a lot of the outfits were very sexual, or very, like, revealing, or they just weren't, like, I don't know, jeans and a t-shirt. You know what I mean? And I was just like, this isn't me. I don't feel comfortable. So I wanted to go over a few, like, starting tips for people that may or may not have this resource. I know there's a lot of stuff out there on the internet, but again, I've watched a lot of videos, and there's a few things that I notice a lot of them miss. And there's stuff that I learned from a lot of my friends. Most of my friends are cisgendered women, which, if you're not aware, cisgendered means that you were whatever whatever sex you were assigned at birth, you feel comfortable with that. That identifies with your gender. Whereas as someone who's transgender, I was told I was male based on my genitalia, and I never identified with that, and so I identify as being female. And so I've transitioned. So like I said, I've been out for a year socially, and now I'm at like 15 months, 16 months, something like that on HRT. I'm not really counting. The days kind of blur by. But yeah, let's get on to it. It's been 4 minutes already. So, tip number 1. Be yourself. That sounds silly, right? Everyone says that. Everyone says be yourself. But no one ever goes into that explanation of, like, why or what that means. Because I remember I would be sitting there screaming, what do you mean be myself? Take suggestions. Like, if you are looking through a magazine or looking at pictures or looking around and seeing other women, if you're like, wow, that's a really cute outfit, wow, she looks really cute, make a note of, like, what the outfit is, what the style is, and eventually you'll, like a mental note, you'll eventually start developing a style in your head. You're like, wow, I kind of like jeans and a t-shirt style, or I like the leggings and an oversized sweatshirt. I'm very much oversized sweatshirts. I love them. I also wear basically like jeans or jean shorts with like a sweater or a cute top. That's basically my style. And other times I'll wear like a sundress or something like that with leggings. depending on how I feel. So, you know, don't try and think, okay, well, I'm going to look at this trans woman and see how she dresses. Well, I'm going to look at this person, because all of our bodies are different. And that's what you have to remember. Like, the world has enough of the rest of us. The world needs a you. So that's my first tip, is just try your hardest to be yourself. And I know it's very difficult, and I know that's not good advice at first, but it'll make sense as you go along. It'll start to make more sense. So stop trying to, like, we pretend, as a trans woman, we pretended to be men all of our lives. Now it's your chance to be yourself. Don't pretend to be a woman you're not. Be the woman you are. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Because very often I see other trans women, they try too hard because they don't know what to do, because we're usually older or we don't have that support system, and they end up becoming a woman that they're not. They're not being genuine, because it's hard to be genuine, because that means being vulnerable. So second tip. Tip number 2. When you are shopping for clothes, first and foremost, find what you think is cute. 2, find something that fits you. And I had this problem when I first started buying clothes. I was like, it has to be tight, right? Because you see women's clothing and they're tight. No. Comfortable. Do the squat test. The squat test is, if you take a pair of jeans, do a low squat. If it doesn't show off your butt, or so if it shows off your butt, or if you can't do it, it's too tight. And dress to your body shape. If you look out there, there are so many different types of women's body shapes. There's not just the hourglass. We see the hourglass figure all the time, especially in like younger women too, but there are so many different types. So when you go to the store, one of the best advice I ever got was, don't pay attention to the sizes. Pay attention to how it fits you. Is it big in the chest but not big enough in the waist? Okay, then maybe find a different fit. Find a different cut. And when you put something on, look in the mirror and see how you feel. If you feel uncomfortable, as in like you can't imagine going 2 days wearing that, probably not for you. If you find yourself cute, I'm not saying sexy. Like, there are times to feel sexy and hot. But we'll build to that. First, find something where you feel cute, where you're like, I feel really cute right now. I feel really adorable. Like, if I was with my friends, they would probably say, like, wow, Erica, you look cute. Try that first. Baby steps, Don't, like, trying to be like, hey, I want to be hot, because we all want to. We all deserve to be hot, right? Like, sexy and feel that way. That's like jumping in the deep end with a bunch of sharks, and you still have, like water weenies on, like the little pool arm floaties, like, and you still don't know how to swim. That's, when you get to that level, I promise you, you're going to be amazing. But if you just jump right in, there's going to be a lot of mistakes you make, and a lot of those mistakes can cost you not only money, but fear and anxiety, or being treated poorly, or like in my case, I was raped, like, my first date. So, and it's not because of what I was wearing, but it was just because I didn't know what I was doing. I rushed everything too quickly. You should take your time. So with that tip number 2, just, find something that's comfortable. Find clothes that you would wear every day, over to your grandma's house or whatever, like a nice shirt, or, avoid, if you feel like, I don't like unisex t-shirts. I think that they make my shoulders look too big and make me look too manly. So I try to go for a more female cut shirt, which it'll make a difference. Also, like, I'll get to that. That's the next tip. But like, just make sure, like, the clothes you're buying, the shoes, everything. It sounds embarrassing to be like, oh my God, I'm a size 11. Because in men's I was a size 9. So add 2 sizes. Women's I'm size 11. Now I'm size 10. Like 9.5, 10. But I started out size 11 and I was like, oh my God, no one has these big feet. There are several girls here that have bigger feet than me. So trust me. That you can find it. But just first and foremost, find something that's cute, that you think is cute, and then try it on. Try to find a size that fits properly, um, just in everything. And you don't even have to worry about like breast implants or whatever like that, prosthetics, because there are a lot of flat-chested girls too. So, but unless you want to do it, of course. And then find the size that fits for you, and then take your time building your wardrobe until you get to that super sexy thing, because you're not really, I promise you, there are not going to be a lot of opportunities for it. But if you have something cute every day, you can wear it every day, and you can feel good. So tip number 3, jeans. All right, it's the hardest thing for me. It took me forever to figure this out. Women's jeans sit differently on us. It's normal, especially for mid-rise and high-rise jeans, to go up to your belly button or above, like pulling it up. And yes, it does outline certain things in your groin. I don't tuck, so I just wear a decent pair of underwear, and that's it. If I see a bulge, I try to like wear a bigger sweatshirt or something over it, or maybe try a different pair of jeans that day. But I don't tuck. But I like wearing jeans are so important, because for men, like, our jeans like go up to the bottom of our waist, like a little bit above our groin area. Whereas women, theirs goes above. Most of the time, their jeans go above their butt for a reason. It shapes it. So with women's jeans and stuff like that, and skirts and things like that, they go higher, and that was a hard thing for me to learn. So I'm just sharing that bit of advice, because a lot of things are crop top now, and I'm like, how can you have this much space? But like, it's actually, crop top's not necessarily meant to show off your whole abdomen. It's meant to show off a little bit, like a little bit of your belly button, and that's about it, because the jeans go up the way the rest. So yeah, when trying those on, just think about that. I will say, when I first started, even when I wasn't out, I wore women's jeans, because it just made me feel a little better. I wore a boot cut, mid-rise women's jean from Walmart that was cheap, where, like, if you really looked, you could tell, but it shaped my butt nice. It felt more comfortable, but like at first glance, no one really could notice. So if you're looking for things like that, that's a good way to do it, instead of going straight skinny. Now I usually wear skinny jeans every day, just because they're more comfortable. They're more like jeggings for me. I can't do like the baggy jeans anymore. It's weird. But yeah. That's tip number 3. So, tip number 4. When it comes to stuff like makeup. So I wore a wig for over a year. And that was at someone convinced me to. And then I just stopped wearing it because my hair was growing out. If you decide to wear a wig and stuff, that's fine. And that'll be in my next tip. But like, one of the main areas that I noticed trans women struggle with at first is makeup. As in, overdo it. So the key to makeup is make it look like you're not wearing any. Right now, I am just wearing mascara. That's it. I don't know if you could tell or anything like that, but that's all I'm wearing. So like, I have a moisturizer on, like a daily thing. That's about it. But makeup is meant to enhance, not to. Some people tell you it's meant to create. I don't see it that way, because you have amazing features on your face, regardless if you're male or female, or you're on HRT or not. Highlight those great features. Don't try to create false ones, because if you create false ones, and when people get up on close inspection, they're like, oh, that's not there. But like, you see, like, I have like, wider cheekbones, and like my nose and everything. Again, no surgery, like a wider forehead. So my side profile isn't the best. But like what I do on a daily is just, I do mascara, I do concealer just around here and like around here for a little bit of, I still have like some 5 o'clock shadow, and if I really feel like it, I'll do my eyebrows. That's about it. That's all I really feel like I need. And then if I want to do full face, I'll do like a foundation, make sure it matches, and I don't understand bronzer or stuff like that, and honestly, like, I am lazy and I don't want to spend an hour on my makeup. If you do, that's great, cool. But what I do is I'll put my foundation on, and then I'll do blush. So I combine the whole blush palette, and then I do my cheeks, very light, so you can't tell if they're blush marks, and then I do a little bit of my nose, a little bit on my chin, right above here, and right up here, and then right down here. So the reason why I do that is if you're looking at my face right now, there's red lines, there's flush, it's a normal face. I'm actually a little sunburned. I had a headband on yesterday, so I'm a little sunburned, but I promise you, like, when you add the blush, it makes your face look more alive, and when you add it in different areas other than here, it makes it look more natural, like you're not wearing any, which is kind of the point, right? I mean, and then you have the moments where you really want to, like, dress up, and you have good makeup. I did that last night at a dance, and that's where you can go with, like, a really strong eyeshadow and a bold lip, and you can do that every day. Sometimes I'll do a bold lip just because. Sometimes I'll do a full face just because, but don't feel like you have to do full face right off the bat, or feel like you need any. I just always stick with the concealer at first if you feel uncomfortable about, like, a beard or something like that. Moisturize, a skincare routine with moisturizer and a night cream and stuff like that will go a lot farther than makeup. I promise you. I get people all the time when I'm not wearing makeup saying, "Wow, Erica, your skin looks great." Thank you, because I take care of it, or I try to. So really, like, have a good skincare routine and just buy the basics for makeup until you can figure it out. And if you have cis friends, honestly, I ask cis friends all the time, my cisgendered female friends, because they do it all the time. I do have some friends that are drag queens and cross-dressers, but that's the thing, is if you ask them for advice, if that's what you want, that's the style you want, cool, do it. But I don't want to put that much effort in, and I also don't want to wear that kind of makeup every day. I don't feel the need to have to wear false lashes all the time. Stuff like that. I've worn them, like, once. So again, I'm lazy. Like, I like getting right out of bed, going to class or whatever. So I'll do my hair real quick and then put on a little bit of makeup. Because once you're starting living every day, you can save a lot more time by not doing it as often. And honestly, cis women don't get full face every day. Don't let Facebook fool you, and, like, YouTube and stuff. Like, they don't wear that every day. It's just whatever you're feeling. So tip number 5, because we're getting into the length of videos. Tip number 5 for starting out, prosthetics, right? This is a big personal area. So if this is something that you want to do, make sure it's what you want to do and not because you want to appear a certain way. I've known people that they went out and got breast forms. Okay. I never did. I didn't feel the need to, not because I felt, like, already comfortable. No, I felt uncomfortable because I had a flat chest. It's just that I didn't want to have to explain why all of a sudden I showed up to work and I now have, like, double D's. Or, like, why a friend sees me and they're like, "Oh, wow, okay, that was just me." And I did wear a wig for a little bit. If you're going to invest in a wig, invest in a higher quality one. Like, expect to spend $300 to $500. Human hair, a Remy wig if you can, but human hair, and get something to your natural hair, like what your natural hair would be and your natural hair color, because it's going to go a lot longer, and it's going to be more natural. Like, I still have people that look like, if you look at my older videos, that's a wig. Now some of you can tell, others can't. So that's because I went with something that was a little bit more natural to me. Again, breast forms, if you're comfortable, sure. I just recommend, like, get measured. It sucks. Go with a friend. You can measure yourself if you can. I at first had to buy not custom made, but, like, I just searched really hard because I was an A cup. And I have a 38-inch chest, so I was a 38A. Sometimes those are a little bit harder to find. So, you can find them online and stuff like that, but, like, get the band size that matches first, and then try to get the lowest cup size you can for starting out. Because honestly, like, especially if it's a padded bra, no one's going to know. I actually started out with sports bras. They were the easiest. And that way, like, oh, you could see my sports bra band, so you can, that's why I have flat chest, because that's what sports bras do. And then after HRT, when they started getting bigger, I started getting actual, like, I'm a 38C right now. naturally. I haven't had surgery. And so gaffs, I can't help you with that. I've never used one. If you want to use one, that's cool. Do it. Um, if you don't want to use one, that's cool. I don't. Uh, I personally think that you should do it to your own comfort level. But if you need tips on gaffs, I'm sorry, I can't really help you. Um, so that's kind of that thing. And then the only other big thing with prosthetics, um, I would say, is like hip pads, butt pads, shapers, corsets. I promise you that if you find the right clothing, if you wear the right clothes, it'll accent your features. Remember what I said with makeup. Accent what you have. Don't try to create what you don't have. Because if you try to create what you don't have, upon further inspection, people are going to notice. And if you want to be stealth or you just want to like do your thing, that's fine. You don't want to be outed. Because there's so many different women out there, so many different body shapes. It's okay. I promise you, it's scary, but it's okay. And so don't try to create a body shape you don't have. If you normally have a thinner waist, accent that, girl. Like, wear, maybe skinnier, higher rise jeans and a crop top. If you have, you know, longer legs, like, accent those things. Stuff like that. Like, accent what you've got. Your body is all you got, and it will change with HRT, but until then, like, I don't know, my big thing is I never wanted to explain why I no longer have bigger hips or why my boobs are massive and I just transitioned. Because then there's this suspension of disbelief that people that know you are like, oh, well, they're doing something. Um, and it makes it harder for people to just treat it normally. Should people treat us normally? Absolutely. But if you kind of want to go through life, go through your transition, especially starting out, not drawing as much attention, these are just some of the first 5 tips I suggest. I'm going to make another 5 for like, okay, so you started. But yeah, so these are my suggestions. And if you have any questions, feel free to message me, hit me up. And hopefully, like, it goes well. Let me know about your stories. Let me know how well it goes, okay? Let me know if you don't like some of the suggestions I have. Like I said, I'm going off my experience, so that's all I know. But, alright, y'all. Have a good day. Bye.